Senator Warner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Powell, good to see you. One of the things we've talked about in the past, and I've got 2 or 3 issues I want to get through fairly quickly, is that that while our regulatory framework should always promote financial innovation, that innovation can't come at the expense of things like anti-money laundering, consumer protection, financial stability. I continue to worry, in many of these hearings where we keep seeing this regulatory creep outside the boundaries of traditional financial regulation. I think if we were starting a system from scratch, few of us would design it this way. But it is one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to working with Chair Scott and my colleague, Senator Lummis, on a framework at looking at stablecoins in particular within the regulatory perimeter. I know my friend Bill Hagerty just introduced a bill in this area. I'm looking at trying to make sure we get those guardrails put in place, and how it touches the Fed is something that's terribly important to me. I know you and I have talked in the past about the notional idea of same activity, same regulation in the non-bank sector. If you'd like to wax briefly on this question around stablecoins and how we think about them in the same point of, if they are similar to other activities, should they not have the same regulatory structure?
So we definitely support these efforts to create a regulatory framework around stablecoins. Stablecoins may have a big future with consumers and businesses. We can't know that now, but it is important for the development of stablecoins in a safe and sound manner, and a manner that protects consumers and savers and all, that there be a regulatory framework. So we see these bills, and we're in contact as we were in the last Congress, and trying to add our technical thoughts and how to do this. And we think it's a very constructive exercise.
Well, we do think, you have a lot of expertise in this session, and there are people people come with lots of opinions on everything in crypto, from over the top to the other end of the spectrum. And I'm gonna need to rely on your expertise as well as we try to work through some framework for stablecoins. I know there are a lot of earlier questions on CFPB. I think the record is pretty darn good. It's returned $20 billion to consumers. Matter of fact, the last time we had the previous chair here, Chair Rohit, Mr. Chopra, we were talking about $55 million to Virginians. I do have to mention this more for my colleagues. Tim Kaine and I did a teletown hall last night. Lots of things happening in Virginia. Normally, we would get maybe 3,000, 5,000, 6,000 folks on a teletown hall. We had 60,000 last night. I have not seen anything like that in my time up on here on the Hill, and a huge amount of concern about what the Doge boys are doing, whether our information is safe, whether privacy is protected. I had one lady say, in light of what was happening at CFPB, and while there's not a direct connection, she's saying, is her deposits at her bank safe? We tried to give her a assurance, but I said, you know what, ma'am, I'm going to be talking to the chairman of the Federal Reserve tomorrow. And with this diminution or shuttering, at least at the time being, of the CFPB, can I tell, I believe her name was Mary, can I tell Mary from Virginia that her bank account is safe?
I think bank accounts overall across the economy are safe, yes. We've still got deposit insurance at the FDIC, and the banking system is well capitalized and safe.
Well, again, I think the concern was being raised was that the diminution of consumer protections lent her concerns about whether that dollar being safe. Last thing I want to recognize is that there's been reports in the media about the thinness in the Treasury markets, the number of additional bonding that we're going to have to do, particularly with so many of these unpaid tax cuts. Matter of fact, one of the things that was really striking to me was that yesterday the president mentioned how he was, quote, examining Treasury debt payments for possible fraud and suggested that our debt might not be as high as possible. You know, we all understand the full faith and credit of the United States is based upon a reputation. If this president were to suddenly say, I'm wiping off X amount of debt because I don't believe we owe it, what kind of effect would that have on both stability of the dollar and the overstability of our economy?
It will probably not surprise you that I will defer to you on that question.
So you think it would be, from a Fed standpoint, the President of the United States starts to saying we're not going to pay our Treasury debt, you're going to have no view at all?
I'm not going to comment on things that the president says.
I would like to see us at some point get a stronger answer on that, because I think that in light of the president's willingness to shut down agencies willy-nilly, his ability to potentially curtail payment of debt, I think would have devastating consequences on our economy. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Britt.